เตสังเหตุงตถาคโตเตสัญจโยนิโรโธจะเอวังธรรมเหล่าใดเกิดแต่เหตุพระตถาคตเจ้าทรงแสดงเหตุแห่งธรรมนั้นและความดับไปแห่งธรรมนั้น
Whatever Dharma arises from a cause, the Tathagata shows the cause of those virtues and the cessation of those virtues. Hello, today in this Clickthorm channel, I will tell the second Jatagang story about Seree Vanijjah Jatagang, about Seree today. This story is from the 27th book of the Tripitaka, about Seree Vanijjah Bodhisattva story. It's the name in that life cycle of the Bodhisattva as the current Buddha. In this way, it means merchant. Yes, that life as the Buddha at that time. Blessed One was to stay in the city. Samadhi presided over a monk who had abandoned, that is, stopped working hard in order to attain the Dharma. After all, the Lord Buddha then gave a sermon that started with the word it daja hai nong wai la te sa, meaning if you missed sotapatamug, the certainty in the religion of this religion, you will be troubled after that a long time, long before your monks ordained in a religion that gives results like this. When you abandon your perseverance, you will grieve forever like a liberated vanish from a precious gold base to one. So the monks have already heard the story and would like to know the story of the previous life cycle of the Buddha as a bodhisattva. And there is a story like the Buddha mentioned. How is it? The monks who were in the congregation at Jatagang on the inspectorate asked the Buddha to show this story to them because the Blessed One was able to His Highness made a mistake between the worlds to make it appear. That is, to bring that matter to meet that life and tell them about it in the past, since going back to the 5th gaff from now on, that is, going back from now on 5 big 1 gaff period time. Yes, the Bodhisattva is a merchant named Seree in Seree Warrat province, Seree Vanich. If you want to trade, you can go with another one merchantman, they are also a peddler, and cross the river called Nila Thanan. And then went to Aridpur capital. Now we agreed. There are 2 people saying that we have to trade in different way. We don't fight each other to compete for customers. Let's share the road. This road, mine, this road, you can sell products in the road that you have specialization or that you are familiar with. Customers are separated. Miss that. So another merchant, enter the house of a rich family, this an old family, where all the property brothers and sisters are gone. Relatives have already asked, so there is a girl left with a grandmother who moved her grandchildren, even their occupation is still tight, just a living wage job for the poor. Actually, there is a gold tray in the house that used to in the past, it was a rich person who used it if it was stored with other kitchen tools. Now, when I don't use it for a long time, the soot will catch until I don't see it as gold anymore. Grandma after it doesn't remember. I don't know if there is a gold tray that. Singing and selling things that luck takes the matter of decorations until they take the jewelry that was a way of selling things in those days. I will try this. It is like a merchant today who calls to customers. Now another merchant walked to at the door of my grandma and grandchildren's house. Grandchildren, who was a child, saw that merchant. She told grandma that grandma and grandma had to buy some jewelry for me. Grandma said, "Oh, I'm a poor person. What do you want? Go to the shop to buy and say that we have this charcoal, this tray is not used at all, then exchange for jewelry." Grandma called the merchant and asked to sit another merchant sitting. Now grandchildren handed that tray to another merchant. Now grandma told my boss to take this charcoal and ask her granddaughter some decorations. The merchant then put her hand on the tray and think it could be gold, so he took a needle to inject on backside of tray. This one, he can see the gold color inside the scratch. So I thought it was gold for sure, but I thought I'd take that battery for free. So he finished it, so I told my grandmother and granddaughter that eating it doesn't cost anything. The price of this sale, even half masak, hasn't arrived and thrown it through the floor. That is to say, compared to the old days, it's not even half of masak at all, then get up and go, that is, he will think that he will come back later, now leave, let grandma and grandchildren believe that it's not worth it, then get up and go to another place. Seree, who is a bodhisattva, sees that merchant his friend and goes without selling anything or buying anything. Now, he can't say anything when he himself doesn't trade. When Seree got to the door of grandmother and grandchildren's house, Seree said to grandma and grandchildren as well, but now he spoke well, so grandchildren went to tell grandma that I would like more jewelry, and asked grandma to take this charcoal. Would you like to exchange it for me? This person speaks well, unlike the previous person. She talks rudely. Grandma said that she would call her grandchildren and call her family. After that, let the Bodhisattva is holding that tray, it's a golden tray, so she said to Grandma that this one is worth hundreds of thousands masak to deliver. If there is no product with the same value as the base in our hands, it's all strange things to sell. So it's not worth this much at all. Pay the market, saying that the previous merchant said that this pass is not worth it. Even half masak sent it up and sent it, then threw his leg down to the ground, but took this as a gold base. Because of your merit, we can give it to you. Whatever you want, take this, try at price you need pay it. At that time, the Bodhisattva gave 500 masak to find that was in all his hands only. And the goods that cost 500 masak have been looking for a long time. It's all finish. Now, when grandma and grandchildren get all their assets, products and money, they're already thousands of more than looking for fermented fish because the company is going to go back, then get on a boat to go to the riverbank and pay 8 masak to the people. I would like to take the boat and get on the boat. The merchant of this story, who has fooled grandma first that this base is less than half masak, back to grandma's house that this time going to get gold tray. Wana, if you can get it for free, and then you can pass it on to us, we will give you something, but if we assume that another merchant goes back and says something, all right, now if you want anything, bring some gold tray. Which is a grandmother, that's it. I cursed that merchant and said that you have made our golden tray worth 100,000 masak to be worth only half. That's why give us 1,000 masak wealth and that gold tray is gone. This merchant, who is rooked in mind, thinks that we are a loser from the precious golden trajectory, missed the opportunity to get a valuable gold ray. The merchant who passed away is a friend who came together. This is a great deterioration. It's a great loss. I think so. It's airy sad. Until he was unable to concentrate and passed out following in the footsteps of Buddhism, we arrived at that river and saw the Bodhisattva on the gondola which was about to leave shore, sad merchant shouting to the boatmen that the people would be left if they brought the boat back. So Seree say that I don't have to go back because I have paid since one delivered it. When Mr. Sad Vanich passes by, he sees that Pat Bodhisattva will be in different rows away from the young leaves. Even more sad than the first time being with grandma. This car is a broken heart. Blood gushes out of her mouth and then she dies. But before death, there is a spirit of vengeance. Well, this ties besides this as the first vendetta of Devadatta. It causes what to call the angry and find a way to destroy the Buddha in every life cycle until even the last life cycle. The Lord Buddha told the story to the monks who asked to tell the story, and then taught that the monks who have gained perseverance. If you miss the revolutionary soda, it is the image that the eyes can see the Dharma. That is, if the Buddha said this, it means that he saw that this monk should have accumulated prestige until he was able to see the Dharma. So he came to encourage me to work hard until I succeeded. Have taught you that in order for a monk who is a disciple to work hard until the eyes can see, it is a certainty as the truth in this religion. Be a passive monk from the beginning of the story. Let's jump on the story that has similarities. Seree was removed from the gold tray for 100,000 masak. Another merchant are people who don't do it. Trying to hold that gold base is the person who died because ooking for the person who died, so I'm worried later instead of taking it in the first place. If you don't reach the noble path, it's like the golden base that this religion has prepared. After the change, you will lose your chance. You will lose the opportunity to get the fermented medicine case. It may cause trouble later on. Yes, throughout the work, but if it matches the value, if not clear the persistence when there is an opportunity, do it. Like a bodhisattva, even if you don't have a chance, when you arrive, you will receive a gold tray. Well, the Lord Buddha has said this and finished it, and recorded it in the Tripitaka. It was recorded just like this. Now, what did the Jatagang on Seree Vanijjah give us? Fissert, it was from the beginning of the story. As the Buddha said, it dji nong la ts. The Buddha wants to point out the effort or the person who will come to achieve the Dharma here, must do it for a period of time that has been accumulated for a long time, so much life cycle. Until it's enough, so I'll do it for a while and then I'll stop doing it for a while and I'll stop. It will cause that opportunity to slip away. This time, once the opportunity slips away, instead of attaining the Dharma and turning into a mistake and making a mistake, it will go to hell again. It's a waste of time for a long time. As Fra Devadatta, even though collect the prestige of Dharma all the time as well, you still go to hell and go to hell, yes. So you teach that according to the passive, that if you miss Sotapatima, which is certainty in a word in this Buddhism, then you will have to suffer after the end of a long time. This is the first life cycle time, that is, counting backwards from this life. If compared to the age of the people or the minds that revere in the cycle of sorrow, it's not that long. Attitude. But every nation that is born to pay respect and learn to practice the prestige in the group of Buddhism will return to hurt the Buddha in every life with vengeance from this life. The merchants are friends and go to sell things together, time, but because having greed and greed. Do you see that there is a way of making a living? Tired of the Eight Noble Path, which is opposite to the Bodhisattva every life until the last life, still doesn't love vengeance. It hurts the Buddha directly. It makes the God bleed, right? Then go to hell, that is, when you're freed from punishment, because you've done the prestige with the Buddha's relatives and friends and God's disciples all the time, you will be successful. He is an individual Buddha in a next life cycle that has been freed from evil. As for Mr. Seree, today's chart, who is a graduate in that matter, is the Tathagata itself. Next Jatagang, please stay tuned for the next episode.